What's up YouTube, back with another video, and today I'm gonna go over a lot of things related to offensive play calling here in 2K23. So I'm gonna show you how to call pick and rolls, call plays, freelances, series, explain what some of these things mean. I'm gonna go over a few settings. I'm gonna talk about favorite plays and quick plays, play priorities, and there will be timestamps. So if you just want to see something specific, you could just skip ahead to whatever you want to see. And with that being said, let's get into it. So starting off with a few settings, what you want to do is go to your coach settings. I'm in scrimmage mode, so I'll go to substitution. But if you're in like a real game, you go to game plan. You can also do this from the main menu too. But you go to coach settings. I like adaptive coach engine off. Timeouts, player minutes, subs. I put that all on manual, but here I put play vision display on all plays and play vision display on full. So what this does is it shows you like all of the arrows and where people set screens. Like if you can see in the background right there, it shows you where all the screeners are going, where they're gonna screen, where the off-ball players are gonna go, where you supposed to go with the ball, who you're supposed to pass it to, and it makes things a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to keep track of everyone. I also put play calling messages on show all, and what that'll do is it'll show you like what's going on at the top right of the screen. So whether you call a play or like your freelance starts, or if your play calling is on like main automatic, it'll show you what's going on, so like you don't have to guess. As you can see, I call a play and the name of the play showed up on the top right of the screen. I've also been asked what do certain things in the play vision mean. So all the arrows and dotted lines and circles and all that stuff, I've been asked what that means. So just head over to 2KU and go down to controls and tips, and then press the left trigger until you get to play vision. And then right here, it'll show you like what everything means. So start location, the circle is a start location. So that's where you would start the play. And then arrows, it shows you, where to move or where other players are moving, where to pass, where the screeners will come from, and everything like that. So if you don't know what all this stuff means, you can just head to 2KU and it'll show you right here. So we're gonna start off with a pick and roll. And on next gen, if you want to call for a pick and roll, just tap LB or L1 and then hold the icon of the player that you want to screen for you. So right here, I pick Draymond Green. And from here, you can click the left analog to make him switch sides, and RB or R1 to make him fade or roll to the rim. You can also just hold LB or L1, and I'm pretty sure by default, it'll make your center come up inside the screen. Sometimes it'll be a power forward, but most of the time, it'll be a center. And if you want to call a pick and roll on current gen, just tap LB or L1 and then press RB or R1 for positional play calling. And then press the icon of the player you want the pick and roll for. And just like next gen, you can pick fade or roll or change the direction of the screen. And you can also just hold RB or R1 and either your power forward or your center will come and screen for you. So now we're going to call the play, and on next gen, just press LB or L1 and then press the icon of the play you want to call a play for. So I'm going to just pick Klay Thompson and then use the triggers to cycle through the pages and pick the play that you want to run. And for current gen, if you want to call a play, just press LB or L1 and then RB or R1. Press the icon of the play you want to call a play for, and then use the triggers to cycle through the pages and call the play that you want to run. So now getting into play priorities. Play priorities determines what types of plays a player has access to by default. And in order to see this, I just started up a game against the CPU, and you go to game plan and assign plays, and then you can see all the priorities for all the players on the team. If you play my team, I don't think it'll show you, but you could go to like one of those my team database websites. I think it's 2kdb.net, and you could just look up all the cards, and then you can see the priorities that they have on them. And the priorities usually closely resemble what the player kind of does in real life. So you'll notice that Klay Thompson doesn't have like pick and roll ball handler priority, and that's because he doesn't really handle the ball in pick and roll situations too much. Whereas players like Jordan Poole and Curry, they do. So they have pick and roll plays where they're the ball handler available to them by default. You are able to change these so you can give them any priority you want. I usually don't bother with this though, and I use the favorite plays or quick plays feature. So you can just go to offensive settings and then play selection, and then you could remove a lot of these. I usually keep floppy and quick ISO. You could also keep passing screen away too. I know some people be using that so they could like 5 out kinda. But I usually just replace them with some plays that I call a lot throughout a game. And so what this feature does is it allows you to call plays a lot faster, because when I first showed you how to call a play, you have to, you know, press LB or L1, and then you gotta cycle through the pages, and then you gotta find the play, and it could take a while. And like when you're in a real game, there's a lot going on, there's a lot to pay attention to, so you don't want to just be clicking buttons though, like for, you know, 10 seconds. So you can call a play in as little as 2 button presses. You can also assign it to a certain player so that every time you call that play, it'll run for that player. So like a play like quick 21 or quick 32 horns, I would assign to Clay because I want him coming off those screens and getting those open threes. It could also help with certain players not having the priority that you need to run that play. So you can assign it to them even though they don't have that priority. So a play like ISO 12 high, I assign to Draymond Green. This is normally a guard post up priority play, but he doesn't have guard post up priority. But I like running this play for him because it has him in the post and he has that post playmaker badge, as well as bullet passer, but they removed that badge this year. And you had shooters like Clay and Curry running off a screen. So I liked calling this play for him while he's in the post and he's able to make that pass. So once it's all set up, you just back out the screen, and then you can press right on the D-pad, and then boom, your plays are right there. 2 button presses and now your play is running. And like I said, I assigned this play to Draymond Green, and then now I got shooters. I got Jordan Poole coming off of that, and then I got Curry coming off of that wide open in the corner.
You suck!
And to set up your favorite plays on current gen, just go back to the offensive settings, play selection, add the plays that you want, and then tap LB or L1, and your plays will be right there. So now getting on to freelances. Freelances give you a certain type of spacing as well as actions to really give your offense structure, and they're kind of similar to plays but not really, because plays are usually designed to get a specific shot for a specific player, whereas freelances is a lot more free flowing and you just have a lot more movement, and it's not really designed for a specific person to score. It's just, like I said, it just helps give your offense structure and help you create scoring opportunities with pretty much anybody depending on the freelance. So in order to set your freelance, what you want to do is, you know, go to offensive settings, and then right here you can select up to 4 freelances. You don't have to pick all 4, you could just pick 1 or however many you want, and then back out and then press right on the D-pad and then press freelance, and then you can just choose what freelance you want to run. And if you want to call a freelance on current gen, same thing, go to your offensive settings, set your freelances, then you go into the game, tap right on the D-pad, freelance sets, and then pick your freelance. So now getting into series. A series is just a series of plays that look similar and have similar spacing and similar actions, but they usually have an action or two that's just a little bit different to differentiate all of the plays within the series. But they all look really similar. And I'm going to show you an example with the Iverson series. So again, you want to go to offensive settings, go all the way down to series, and then pick your series. And then press right on the D-pad, press series, and then, oh, I guess I didn't even have to do that. But yeah, and then pick your series. You can also press right on the D-pad again, go to game plan, and you could click run series if, you know, your series doesn't run. And I'm pretty sure it takes a possession in order for it to kick in. So right here, you see Fist Iverson at the top right. So the Fist Iverson gonna run. And the thing about these Iverson plays, you'll see that action right there. So this action right here, pretty much any play that you see that has the word Iverson in it, you'll have this action right here where a player will go from wing to wing and he'll get these two screens right here. And a lot of times you'll have this shot like off these two screens. I really like Iverson plays because they get you a lot of wide open shots just off this action alone. But we're gonna run the entire play. I'll pass it over here. I'll pass it back. All right, and this one just ends in this side pick and roll right here. So now next play down, we got quick Iverson too. And so again, it looks similar because it starts off with this Iverson action right here. But then you get this right here for a potential shot. And if you don't get that shot, play goes into a pick and roll. And now this time we have punch Iverson. So again, you're going to see the same Iverson action right here. But this time I'll pass it over here. And now it's a post up for Clay. And if you go back to your coach settings and come all the way down here, you'll see Freelance Series order static or dynamic. So static means it'll just go in a specific order every time, and dynamic means that it'll just pick a random play out the series. And Freelance Series repeat, you could press do not repeat. So once it runs, it won't repeat, or you could repeat on success. So if you score from it, it'll run the same thing again the next time down the court. And to call the series on current gen, you press right on the D-pad and then press primary focus, series, and then pick your series. So that's pretty much it for the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. As always, I hope this helped you. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content.